Good evening, everyone. The new schedule, it's 8:30 now. Please remember, we're starting as of today at 8:30. Few announcements before we start the lecture. In the last few days, my website has difficulties, technical issues, for good reason, Baruch Hashem. The website grew so much. Just from the time the war started a month ago until now, it grew 33%. We're talking new thousands of people in 1 month. Few more thousand people added into the website. The problem is that the website server cannot handle so much traffic. We have to get our own server to become already, independent without service from mutual servers, so we're working on it. Please be patient. The next few days, it will be fixed. More good news that we build a new app. We're going to have a fantastic new app. This one was good, but it was not good for everybody. Some people had difficulties. It didn't work in all models. These apps are ready and they've been used. They've been tested now. So far, there's a little bugs there, but they'll fix the bugs and everything will work out, Bezrat Hashem. So we're going to have video there. You're going to be able to get a call in the middle, and then as soon as the call gets hung up, it goes back to where you stopped, and it would recognize where you stopped the lecture even the next day. All kinds of features, state-of-the-art features. Not that I know that much about it, but I was forced to learn, unfortunately. A few more days, things would look better. Baruch Hashem is good news. Why the website grew up so much in the last month? Probably the war had to do with that. Like we're going to learn soon. Batzar lecha umetzaucha kol hatzarot haele, and all the problems begin, you'll remember me, Hashem said. When missiles falls on people's head, they begin to search for Hashem. One of the ways to search for Hashem is to begin to learn Torah, obviously. That's probably one of the reasons. So, Bezrat Hashem. Okay, we will speak today about Parashat Vayetchanan. Moshe Rabbeinu is begging Hashem to enter the Holy Land. Begging. And 515 prayers from the most important person ever lived in this creation, Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, and it did not help him to enter the land. Why? He made few mistakes in his lifetime, few mistakes. The 40 years that he took the Jewish nation to their destination, to the Holy Land, when they came out of Egypt until they finally arrived to the point that they were supposed to enter Eretz Israel, you can count literally on one hand how many mistakes Moshe Rabbeinu made. Now you have to know one thing. If one of us would make these mistakes that he made, it would not even be counted in Shamayim like a sin. Hashem told you to speak to the rock, so you hit the rock. After all, you had good intention. You didn't go against Hashem. You wanted to make Hashem impression better. For people like us, ordinary people with little brain, with very little holiness, with a horrible world that we live in, no modesty, no integrity, no honesty, so much murders and avodah zarah and rapes and all kinds of things that you hear every second. So the little that we do is count a lot, because it's all depend on the test here. But when someone like Moshe Rabbeinu made a tiny, tiny mistake, he heard from Hashem big time. Just like the words of the Gemara, HaKadosh Baruch Hu medakdek im tzadikim kechut ha'se'ara. Hashem is precise with the righteous people even today. Someone who is in a very high level, even today, the law is very strict with him. Why? For very understandable reason. Why? Hashem expects from you. You're not just another loser walking on the street. From you, I expect. From you, I do not tolerate nonsense. From him, yes. From her, yes. I don't expect that much from them. I know who they are. But from you, no games. You're capable of better. It's not only by Hashem like this. It's by each one of us. If you have children, you know what I mean. You don't expect from them the same. One, he will give you 90 on a test. You'll kiss him for a month after that. Gifts, compliment him, tell about everyone what a great job he did, because he got once in his life 90. The other one, if he got 90, you tell him, listen, the promise that I told you that I'm going to give you this and this and that, I'm canceling it. Why? You practically fail. What fail? Abba, it's 90. You can get 100 easy. If you got 90, that means you didn't learn. You didn't learn, you get punished. What is this? Efa ve'efa? You prefer one than the other? What? What's going on? The answer, no. From him, you know, it was a huge achievement. It's more than his ability. From him, it's no justification to fail or to lower his grades. And like everything else in life, if you know you have two kids, one is very hungry, he has strong desire for food. Everything he sees, he wants to eat, he gains weight. If one time he was able not to touch the candy, you want to give him incentive to stay like that. So you give him gifts and all kinds of things. Why? You want him to see that it pays to overcome his desires. The other one is not, he doesn't have this test in life. Tell him yes, yes, no, no, no problem, no argument. The first one is dying, is struggling, is rolling on the floor. I want to eat. The other one, okay, you don't want me to eat, fine. Go outside, play basketball. It's not the end of the world. According to the expectation, that's how the disappointment is. If there's no expectations, there's no disappointment. If there's high expectation, there's major disappointment. We live now in a generation, we expect a lot from our government in Israel and from the army, but we're constantly getting disappointed by the hour more and more. Situation didn't get any better since last time we spoke. And as a matter of fact, now the Israeli sits in Egypt and surrendering to the murderers of the Hamas every hour more and more. It will end up like a huge tragedy, unfortunately. They already agree that they will import cement, that they can continue to build tunnels. They already agree that they can keep all their heavy weapons. They're considering to allow them to have a port, which will be our destruction within months, will finish us, all of us. They're surrendering. Why? Each one of them care about his reputation. They're afraid to say that in their time they killed too many Palestinians. That's what they worry about. They worry that if one day they want to go to Europe shopping or to give a lecture, somebody will arrest them and say you're a war criminal. That's what they worry about. But they're not worried that million Jews will die. For that, they're not worried because of them. Why? It won't be in my term. Soon I'm not going to be in a government anymore. The next one will eat the cake, not me. All this war, I repeat what I said before, but now I put a highlight on it. Was a waste. We did not achieve anything in a war. Not even one thing we did not achieve. They still have tunnels, and if they don't, they will build. They still have full army, 30,000 murderers with weapon walks in Gaza. They did not kill them. Only 200 and something from the Hamas really got killed. That's it. They have 30 more thousand walking around. They're all under they hid 21 days under the ground. Not all of them fought. They just asked a group of them. They said we were hiding under the ground for 21 days eating dates. 21 days, this Muhammad's ate dates. They had dates. They store dates over there. They don't get spoiled. They store them over there in a tunnel. 21 days they were hiding. And now they came out. The rats came out of their caves. Nothing happened. We didn't touch them. Nothing. Money is floating to them as we speak. One more thing, the Israeli government agreed to them that they will receive their money that they were unable to get. All these murderers that shooting missiles at us, Israel allowed them to get their salary. Maybe they'll be a little bit hungry. They allow them to get salary regularly from now on. Everything will be legal. Till now, they had to get the money from Qatar in all kinds of ways. They couldn't do it through banks. Banks afraid to lose their license in the United States. Banks afraid of America. If a bank will get caught wiring money to Hamas or Hezbollah or all these terror organizations, America will put them in a blacklist. They lose billions. So how they do it? Cash, like the drug dealers. They smuggle through the tunnels, suitcases full of cash from Qatar, $100 million a year. Now they're going to make it official. Israel agree. Qatar will wire to Netanyahu, and Netanyahu will wire to Muhammad over there, that he can kill us better. You understand what happened when your government has no brain and has no Torah? That's what happened. I know I speak hard things, but I promise you, this is what's going on right now. Don't expect from them anything. The word losers, it's a compliment for them. A loser, it's someone that tried. He fell, he tried. They don't even try, they don't care. They only care what's their reputation going to be on Facebook or in CNN. That's what they worry about. One thing they should have known, that it doesn't matter if you kill 2,000 or 20,000, the world looking for a reason to hate us. They always hate us. You give them a reason, you kill 20, they're already on the streets ready to kill you. Anti-Semitism, they need you to kill Hamas murderers to hate you. They hated you before. It's just an excuse to go and do riots on the street, that's all. But one way or the other, whether it's 2,000, whether it's 20,000, whether it's 200,000 terrorists that you killed, the same hate you will get. It just doesn't get any bigger than that. They hate you. In Europe, they scream, 90% of the demonstrators are all Arab terrorists themselves. In Paris, in London, they're all terrorists. Then you have some liberal Jews, which are also terrorists in a different way. And you have liberal Goyim, which is also terrorist. 3 different groups of terrorists. They are the real terrorists. Somebody who stands on the street and fight for rights for murderers of Jewish children, he's a terrorist. Even if he never touched a gun in his life. Even if he will swear to you that he cannot kill a rat because he's against killing, standing on the street like this foolish נטורי קרתא, יימח שמם ושם זכרם, million times יימח שמם, those with the beard and the Palestinian flag who stands over there and hug these terrorist murderers. They are the real murderers. They don't have to kill a Jewish boy. It's enough you hug this Mustafa, who all his life killing Jews, you become him. Who are you? You give him power on the media. You give them legitimacy. Now the world is not so angry about them anymore. Here, look, some Hasidic Jews hugging them. Liberal Jews in America, in the media, speaking for them. Israeli Smolanim are speaking for them. So what do you want from me? I'm a French goy. I'm not an anti-Semite. Your own Israelis in Tel Aviv speaks for them. Your own Jews in New York speaks for them. Your Hasidic Jews from Monsey or from Williamsburg are speaking for them. And from all these people, you come to me, the French or the German Nazi? You're complaining to me? What do you want from me? First, deal with your own people. When your people would be with you, then you come to me and tell me I'm anti-Semite. We don't have a case anymore. They're going to get the bigger punishment, the biggest. There's no end to the punishment these נטורי קרתא would get, יימח שמם. No end. There's no words to describe what Hashem will do to them when they leave this world, with the Shabbat that they kept, if they keep. One reason they do it, because they get money from Iran, lots of money. And they also used to get money from Yasser Arafat, which now they get it from different murderers. They get money. The Israeli army found in his office in Jericho, when they broke into the Muqta'a, that's his office, checks, canceled checks made out to נטורי קרתא. Arafat used to send them tons of money. Why? They are the biggest assistants for his agenda to murder all the Jews. Where will he find a better commercial on television? And Ahmadinejad used to send them millions. You don't believe? People in Monsey burned the house of one of them. A week later, he had a house. Iran sent him the money to build a house. What's for Iran $500,000 to build him another house? Where Iran will find someone that presents their agenda to murder the state of Israel better? Then to put few Hasidic Jews with Palestinian flag, they sit like this, stand like this on Shabbat in Washington, hugging the murderers. Where? Where are you going to find such an Erev Rav? No matter how many Israeli speakers we speak in the world to justify Israel's rights to protect themselves, 5, 10 of them already destroy us. That's why every Jew that died in a war, every one of these Neturei Karta and the Smolanim and the liberal Jews, they killed them. From the Arabs, we did not expect anything different. We knew from day one they are in this world to kill us. It's not from today, 3,300 years already. Well, it's before the Quran. People think, oh, since the Quran came to the world, they became like this. No. Ishmael from their father, Pere Adam Yado Bakol V'Yad Kol Bo. Now they have ISIS, whatever their name is. They have different names in Hebrew. Do you see what they do to people? How they slaughter them? They take knives and cut their throat like this to their own people. They're already occupying cities. They occupy the south of Syria. They're occupying cities in days. Something unheard of. A terrorist organization, they're not a massive army. I don't know how many of them, hundreds, thousands, whatever. But they go and they occupy places. It's very difficult to fight against an enemy who wants to die. Not only is not afraid to die, they brainwash him in such a way that he thinks, no, when will I die already that I can join the 72 virgins in heaven? Wait until they see the surprise when they get there. They'll get something else. 72, but something else. I would pay any amount of money to see the face of one of these Mustafas when they tell him, come get your 72. And then when you see what he's going to get. Any price. Just for that delighted moment. But until it will happen, we still go back to our reality. Many of the things that happen to us now are in our parasha. Let me read it to you. Why we talk so much? Let's read. Moshe Rabbeinu Va'etchanan, 550. Va'etchanan, numeric value, 515. It shows us, it's a secret to teach us how many prayers Moshe Rabbeinu prayed. In the end, the angel said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the prayers of Moshe Rabbeinu is shaking heaven. What are you going to do with that? You're going to accept his prayers or not? It's destroying our world. It's not just another prayer. Moshe Rabbeinu. So Hashem had to come to Moshe and say to him, stop praying, enough. Rav lach. Moshe said, just let me go to Israel for a few days. Okay, I understand you made a decree. You don't want me to enter the land. No problem. Let me go 1 week. 1 week that I have few opportunities that I can keep the mitzvot that you can only keep in the Holy Land. There's an interesting question. You know, according to the Ramban, Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman, not ben Maimon, ben Nachman, he lived 750 years ago, and he was a huge Kabbalist. So he was saying 750 years ago that to go to Eretz Israel and build a home and live there, it's mitzvah from the Torah. According to the Ramban, it's mitzvah from the Torah. So it's called mitzvat Yeshuv Eretz Israel. So based on that, Chazal say that Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to go to Israel. What for? To eat the fruit, the delicious fruit that Israel has? Of course, that wasn't the issue here. Why, the Gemara say, why Moshe was anxious to go to Israel? That he could keep those mitzvot that he never had a chance to keep even once, because in the exile you cannot keep them. So the question is, why the Gemara didn't say that Moshe wanted to keep the mitzvah of Yeshuv Eretz Israel? To enter to Eretz Israel and build yourself a home. That was, he was anxious to keep this mitzvah. No, because as soon as you enter Eretz Israel, it's already mitzvah The Gemara says everyone who walks in Eretz Israel 4 steps, 4 amot, it's already mitzvah. It's mitzvah to, you walk in Manhattan, it's a sin. Every 4 steps, a new sin. You walk in Eretz Israel, every 4 steps, it's mitzvah. But not everywhere. Not in Dizengoff. Or in Rehov HaYarkon. No. Some places is more mitzvah than others. The breathing Eretz Israel air, it's already opening the intelligence and the brain of a person. Avira de Eretz Israel machkima. You see the Jewish children compared to other kids from America, from Europe, not the same spice. Not the same spice. I went to Eretz Israel. The rabbi that runs my kollel in Yerushalayim, the yeshiva, his son, 11 years old. 11 years old, now he's maybe 13, almost 14. But at that time when I went there, he was 11 years old. He knew the entire Torah by heart. 11 years old. Chumash, all the Chumash, Bereshit, Bara, Elokim, every parasha. I told him, tell me this parasha. Maybe 1 or 2 mistakes he made. Told me 1,000 words by heart. That's how they learn. 11 years old. Take a kid here from yeshiva here. Tell me the whole Chumash, 11 years old. I'll tell you all the names of the baseball players and how much they make every year. They're very good at that here. And each one of them has a cell phone before his bar mitzvah already. That rings in the middle of Shiurei Torah and doesn't know how to shut it. I hope it was only the kids. It's contagious. He went to the adults also. So what? So the answer is Moshe Rabbeinu comes from which tribe? Levi. Levi got a piece of land in Israel? No, they got 42 cities that the other tribes volunteered to give them. Here is a property, you can see it here. So 42 cities that they got, which accommodate also the murderers, the not intentional and the intentional murderers, until they get on a trial, they run to the shelter city. So therefore, even though they own a house, they give the Levi a place to live, but they never got nachala. Nachala means a piece of land in a holy land, like the rest of the tribes. And even according to the Ramban, and everyone agreed that in order for us to keep this mitzvah of Yeshuv Eretz Israel, first you have to have Nachala in Eretz Israel. Since they did not get Nachala, Moshe wasn't anxious to keep that mitzvah because it wouldn't be an obligation for him. However, other mitzvot, it's obligation. That's why Moshe wanted to go. When Hashem told him, Rav lach, what does it mean, Rav lach? You have enough, relax. Moshe said, give me a few more mitzvot. Hashem told him, you're all good, relax. Son, you're good. You're a very rich man. Moshe still wanted to go. What? Hashem told you, you're going to heaven. He showed him hell, Gehenom. He saw all the wicked people. He saw Korach and the 250 rabbis who came with him against him. He saw everything. He saw all the generations. The Gemara say, half of Moshe's request Hashem gave him. He wanted 2 things in his prayer. Let me enter the land, let me see the land. The Gemara say half of Bakashato, half of his request Hashem gave him. That he took him to the mountain, Alei Ara Avarim, I will let you watch the land. So he saw Eretz Israel. How can you watch Eretz Israel from a mountain from the other side of the river? The answer is, it wasn't a vision like we have. It wasn't the same vision. It was a spiritual vision. Just like the Gemara says that 40 days before a baby is created, once the baby is created on the 40th day, what happened after that? There's an angel who teach him Torah 9 months in his mother's womb, and he see the entire world. Veroe et haolam mi one side to the other side. How a baby see the world if he's covered with skin? What does it see? And see some organs of his mother inside? The Gemara say, "V'ner daluk lo al rosho." He has a special candle and he sees the entire world. Obviously, what are we talking here about? We're talking here about a spiritual vision. Same thing over here. Moshe saw all the generations. The Gemara say he came to the generation of Rabbi Akiva 1,300 years after the moment. It's like a time tunnel. Time tunnel take you to the past. This is a time tunnel will take you to the future that doesn't exist. You see a vision. You look at the Eretz Israel and you see like a movie. And then he saw Rabbi Akiva teach Torah to his students. And most of what he said he couldn't understand. It was too complicated. And he said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you have such a Jew in the future generation and you gave the Torah by me. You're such a humble person. Right away, put his head down. He's much better than me. Why you gave the Torah by me? Look at this brilliant person, Rabbi Akiva ben Yosef. The end of the shiur was that Rabbi Akiva say, everything we just learned now, this is how we receive from Moshe Rabbeinu, from Har Sinai. Hashem told him, you see, he only developed what you taught to the generation that he spoke to. But the foundation, it's Torat Moshe, the Torah named after you, Zichru Torat Moshe Avdi. When he saw the end of Rabbi Akiva, how the Romans make lines of blood on his skin when he was 120 years old, torturing an old man like this, torturing, think about it. Who are the biggest enemies that we have today in the world? Huh? This Hamas, Hezbollah. Those kind of people. If you see now a former Hamas terrorist that now is 120 years old, as much as you hate him, and even knowing he killed many Jewish children, and even Chas v'Shalom, he killed one of your own relatives, are you able to take knives and make lines of blood on his Mustafa body? 120 years old man like this? So let Hashem take care of him. Let him go to Gehenom. Shouldn't be my problem. Why? The young terrorist is a different story. We have to make him pay. But this one already, like Israel, they have John the Maniuk, the Ukraine murderers. Ivan, the terrible Ivan, came to Israel, spent millions of dollars to trial him. In the end, they send him out. Go, you're free. Came to America. In America, they threw him out of here, but that was it. And just he died a year ago, in his 90s. Now Hashem takes care of him. If you ever felt bad for all these Nazis who escaped to Argentina and Brazil and Panama and all these places, and they hid with a false identity, and they made it to the 90s, don't feel bad for them. Feel great that they didn't get judged here. Feel great about it. Why? If you believe in the Torah, you have to feel great. What are you worried about? The judgment over there is 1,000 times harder than here. If they get here 30 years in prison, watching television, enjoying hot soup, that will be their punishment. They got their punishment. Hashem will have to take it into consideration. Now when they got away with that, when they come to Hashem, they'll pay the price. But the price by Hashem, it's a real price. I posted on my Facebook page 2 people who died and went to hell and came back to Gehenom. One Goy, one Jew. You should watch it, how they describe it. Based on how they describe it, they made film, a real film, edited film, with exactly how they describe what's happening to the people over there. Exactly what this film shows, this is the words of the Gemara that Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu what's happening in Gehenom. When Hashem created hell, Monday, second day. That's why in the Torah, on the second day of the creation, it doesn't say Vayar Hashem Kitov. And Hashem saw it's good. Why? The oral Torah explained, you creates Gehenom for the wicked people to pay for their sins. You can write Tov. It's positive. It's necessary that the wicked people would pay for all the horrible things they did. But to call it great, don't exaggerate. So, Okay. So Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu, the Gemara says he started to shake when he saw what's happening over there. Only when Hashem told him, you won't get there, you can relax, he started to relax. Somebody so great was afraid, maybe Hashem is sending me there. We are not afraid. How many times a day you sit and think, what kind of Gehenna I'm going to get for what I just did? And if you had it, usually after 20 seconds it goes to a nice smile. Change of mood. How long a person feel bad about the sin he made? 1 minute? 30 seconds? Sometimes within seconds, it's already gone. Not everyone, of course. There's some people with more Yirat Shamayim. It bothers them for a very long time. I'm not saying no. Most people, 2 minutes later. Not only when they make a scene. You just heard 5 soldiers got a missile to their head and they all got killed. You feel horrible. 2 minutes later, he's back to his steak and French fries. Right or wrong? Reality. Soldiers who give their life to save him, to save his life. He just found out they died, but he won't give up his steak. Rabbi, I paid $10 for it. So Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu what's happening there. He assured him, you're not going there. You can relax. The goal here is like this. The secret here, that Moshe Rabbeinu, after Hashem promised him that he goes to the greatest place in afterlife, in heaven, why he still wanted to go to the Holy Land? What's better, heaven or this lousy world? Work, traffic, sicknesses, problem, marriage issues, children issues, alcohol, drugs, police, traffic, insults, jealousy, Arabs, bombs falling on your head, or heaven. Which one you choose? Putting you now in heaven with all the important righteous people. David HaMelech here, Moshe Rabbeinu here, Rabbi Akiva is here. And you can be with them. Whatever, it's over there. Try to imagine the greatness of God as the Gemara promise. What's better? So if you have a guarantee ticket here, that's your ticket for heaven. Wouldn't you start running sprint before they change their mind? Run. Where is the gate? Show me. Right there. Go. Jump in the water. You're going to heaven. You jump right away. Right or wrong? So why Moshe still wants to stay in this world, to go to Israel? What for? 120 years old. It's not a little kid. Yeah?
He cared about Israel. Israel. He wasn't selfish.
Hashem already told him, Yoshua is worthy. He can take your job. Don't worry. Teach him what to do. That's it.
Rabbi, like you said, it's an opportunity to do mitzvot. Because in this world you do mitzvot, or whatever you don't do. Whatever you did here, that's what you have over there.
Very nice. Moshe said to Hashem, I only want to serve you a few more days. I'm not thinking reward, punishments. Rambam say reward, punishments, all this calculation, it's for little children and for women, that they don't learn Torah seriously all day in yeshiva. They understand reward, punishment, be careful, fine, ordinary people as well. But somebody giant in the Torah, you shouldn't do this calculation. What do I get for it? What do I not? There's an obligation to learn. He gives your life for the Torah, for the mitzvot. Moshe said, give me another chance. I want to serve you a few more days. Same thing Yaakov Avinu. He falls asleep in the Moriah mountain. He has a dream. The angels go up and down in a ladder. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to him and promises him he will protect him. He will watch over him. He gets up and he said, wow, מה נורא המקום הזה? Wow, how amazing this place is. I didn't know this is the gate to heaven. It is the gate of heaven. Right there from Bet HaMikdash, most important place in the world. This is the gate to heaven, and I didn't know about it. But now Yaakov Avinu, it says, Vayira Yaakov meod. He got very, very scared. Scared from what? You just had the dream of your life. The dream of your life. Hashem promised you, He's with you, He loves you, He's taking care of you, your future is secure. If we get up, right away, news conference. CNN, meet me tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Fox News, 2 o'clock. Oh, what's the news? I want to describe to you the conversation I had with God. If you had connection, you make a news conference to the whole world to know that you're an important person, that Hashem came to you personally to promise you that your future is secure, no? Would you get scared? Would you take pills to relax? Would you begin to cry and get and shaky? No. Well, what's wrong here? Why Yaakov became so afraid? The answer is, this is the gate to heaven, and I dare to sleep in the house of God? That's the first thing in his mind. Not Hashem promised me my future is secure. I'm not worried about the punishment here. I'm only worried about the chutzpah that I had. The chutzpah to sleep in the holiest place, the gate to the upper worlds, and here I am falling asleep here. After HaKadosh Baruch Hu assured Moshe Rabbeinu there's no point of continuing to pray, nothing will happen, Hashem told him, order your Joshua, make him strong, give him your blessing. He will bring the nation into the Holy Land, not you. What about his 2 sons? There's a rule in Halakha, if a rabbi has a son, the son takes his place before strangers. That's how it's done by the Hasidim. One rabbi in Brooklyn passed away in his 40s. Sudden death. In the middle of Simchat Bet HaShoeva, after that he sat in his car, passed away. Young. His son was, I believe, 20 years old. Wasn't ready to be a rabbi of a community. They kept the job for him for years. His grandfather was a big rabbi. They trained him. He fell down. She fell. He didn't hear me? Don't worry, she'll come up. An hour later, he turned around to them. He said, no, did she get up already? Not yet. Second, did she get up already? No. Third, did she get up already? Yes, she got up. How did you know? What was his answer? It cannot be that somebody like me that gave my life to dig wells for Jews, that they can come to serve Hashem in Bet HaMikdash easily, that they know they have water, they need water. I gave my life to dig wells for the public. It cannot be my daughter will die in one of these wells. That's why I wasn't worried. If you tell me she went to a place where there's snakes and scorpions, I would be worried. If you tell me she has high fever, I would be worried. I'm not an angel. I close the Gemara and run. But when you told me she fell in a well, I was very relaxed. Why? Hashem acts measure for measure. Measure for measure. Midah keneged midah. So it says like this. Be very careful not to forget the things that your eyes saw here today, that they will never be removed from your heart all your life. And you will inform your children and your grandchildren the day that you stood in front of your God here in Mount Sinai. As Hashem told me, gather the whole nation that I will inform them my words, that they should learn what? That they should learn to love me, to listen to me. They should learn to fear me. That comes before love. That they should learn to fear me, that I'm not their friend from high school. When God gives me what I want, I'll have time for his religion. That's how people answer me. Rabbi, you're married, you have children, it's easy to keep Shabbos. When I have a wife and children, believe me, I'll also be Shomer Shabbat. And if you never have, so because you didn't have, now you're gonna lose your life of eternity when you die? Not only you didn't have wife and children, now you're never gonna have these millions of years that you could have had? Because you lost $1,000, you volunteer to lose the $1 billion that you have in potential? Do you know a bigger fool than that? Why you just burned $1 billion? Because I lost 1,000, I got angry. Do you know anyone? Show me. A person who lost in the stock market 1,000, and a minute later he got angry and took $1 billion from his account and burned it. Why did you do it, Moshe? If I lost 1,000, that's what I did. And you lost here, no. Keep what you have, or what you're supposed to get. That they should learn to fear me all their life that they live on this earth. They should fear me. Don't ever listen to speakers who tell you you should do everything out of love. It's nonsense. The Torah always says, le'ahava u'le'ir'a et Hashem. It's not a shame to be afraid of Hashem. It's a great honor, a great merit, a great wisdom. Be kavod to say, I am shaking from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shaking. That maybe I do something wrong and I'm going to upset him or disappoint him or would reflect a punishment on my future. Don't, repeat again, don't listen to all these worthless, again I repeat without going into names, worthless people who teach you otherwise. It's against the text of the Torah. The Torah is, you have to fear me every second of your life. Irat Shamayim. King Solomon wrote, Ashrei Adam mefachet tamid. Lucky he's the one who always fearing God. King David HaMelech, read Tehillim, see who was David HaMelech. It's almost impossible to read Tehillim after a minute not to have tears, to see the words, for those who understand Hebrew. To see the words is something that cannot be described in words. You feel right away your soul is becoming soft like butter. As soon as you begin to read those words over there, Psalms, incredible. Incredible. Nothing like this. What did he write? Samar mipachdecha besari. My skin is all goosebumps from fear from you, God. Who? Someone that you can count on one hand how many like him we had in this creation. That not Ivy League, the head of the pyramid. The head of the pyramid. He was a candidate to be one of the four. But one mistake he made got him not to be. But he was definitely one of the top five. He wanted to be the fourth wheel of the Merkava, of the carriage, after Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. One test that Hashem gave him, he didn't pass so successfully, and he ended up not becoming that wheel. But still, Mashiach comes from him. Mashiach, son of David. They ask a question, why does it say in Tfilat Shmona Esrei, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, ve'Elokei Yaakov? You should say Elokei Avraham, Yitzchak, ve'Yaakov. Right? Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, ve'Elokei Yaakov.
He tested them separately. He tested them separately.
Very good. If you would say Elokei Avraham, Yitzchak, ve'Yaakov, it means he was Elokei Avraham, it was the God of Abraham, and Isaac and Jacob enjoy from the benefit. Because the children, so the father saved, like Lot and his two daughters got saved from Avraham, not from them. If it was up to them, they didn't deserve to get saved. While Avraham getting saved, his relatives getting saved. You would say, Elokei Avraham, Yitzchak, ve'Yaakov, of course, they grew up in the house of their father, so they also enjoy from that God. No. The tefillah, the prayer has to emphasize, this is, I am the God of Abraham, and I'm the God of Isaac, and I'm the God of Jacob, and each one of them deserved it on their own. Which means if Abraham wasn't a tzaddik, Yitzchak was. I would still tell you I'm his God. And if Yitzchak wouldn't be, then I would still tell you that I'm the God of Yaakov. I'm not the God of Yitzchak and Yaakov because of their tzaddik father. Like in many other cases in life. That the kids benefit from their own father. It's called zchut avot. Where does it say it? In our Parashat, twice. It says it many times in the Torah. To reward you and your children after you. How the children will be rewarded? Thanks to you. It's a clear verse. That's Zchut Avot. I know a grandson of one very big Moroccan giant Chacham passed away from the previous generation. Even named after him. But he doesn't keep mitzvot. It's what they call in Israel Chiloni. The grandfather was a giant, holy, huge Chacham in Morocco. Big, big Chacham. Giant. And the grandson, what they say in Israel, phlegmat. But multi-millionaire, perhaps a billionaire. And it's not the smartest guy I ever met. Everything he touched become gold. Why? Zchut Avot. You don't believe in Zchut Avot? I'll give you a proof from the Tanakh. When King Solomon built the first temple, he couldn't open the doors. It's like a black magic, kishuf. The doors locked. So he started to say, in the name of these, Adam and Noah and all the names that were before, in the name of Abraham, it doesn't open. In the name of Yitzchak, doesn't open. In the name of Yaakov, no. In the name of Yosef, in the name of Levi, all the names he could have mentioned, big, giant tzaddikim, doesn't open. Soon as he say, in the name of my father David, they got unlocked. Zchut Avot. They would learn to fear me and will teach their children also. All of you stood around the mountain and it was going on fire. And God spoke to you from the fire. You heard words, but you did not see a picture. You did not see an image besides hearing voice. Because you did not see any picture, do not dare to imagine me in any kind of imagination. Don't imagine me as words. Don't imagine me as fire. Don't imagine me as light. Don't imagine me in any color or any size. And that's one of the 13 principles of Judaism, that God does not have an image. And if a person gives him an image, he is violating one of the 13 principles of the religion of God, the only real religion in history, and breaks the foundation of the building. Why? Because imagining God in a shape limits him, and that's a serious violation. You imagining him in a size? Oh, very big sin. Plus, it becomes an idol worshipping, because that's really not him, what you're imagining, and you're actually worshipping a different God from your imagination. Now you may come and say, the nation of Israel has a promise that a bad thought, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not attach to action. If you wanted to do something bad but you didn't, then Hashem doesn't hold you liable. That's real, true for all the sins except idol worshipping. Idol worshipping, even in the mind of a person, it's an actual sin. Actual sin. So it says, watch your souls very much because you do not see picture that you will ever make a statue or an image, a statue of an animal, a statue of a bird, a statue of a fish. You look up to the sky and see the sun and the moon and you may think, that's me. I'm warning you. None of this material stuff that was mentioned, it's me. Don't dare to imagine me in any way. Then, I'm making heaven and earth my witnesses today that if you do not follow these instructions that I gave you, you will be destroyed from the face of the earth very, very quickly. Avod tovedun ma'er. Avod for this world, tovedun for the afterworld. Every time it's duplication for good and for bad, it's in this world and the next world. Mot, yumat. Mot in this world, yumat in the next world. Chayo, ichyeh. Will live here and will save his life of eternity if he makes tshuva. I will spread you in all the nations. Only few of you will survive, and you will worship over there a man-made God. The God of the wood, the God of the stone, that cannot see, cannot hear, cannot do anything. In this verse, you have two equal mathematical codes. 49 letters skip. 3 letters, mem, chaf, and hey. Mem, 49 letters chaf, 49 letters hey. And another word, yud, 49 letters shin, 49 letters vav. In this verse, the verse that's speaking about fake gods, the God of the wood and the God of the rock, the stone, who are those gods? Islam and Christianity. Knock on wood is Christianity. The big rock in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia, it's the religion of the stone. In this verse, there are assurance that this is what God was speaking about. Now remember, this was 1300 years before the New Testament and 2000 years before the Islam. And the Torah put Yeshu, Yud, Shin, Vav, JC, inside this verse. That's his name in Hebrew, Yud, Shin, and Vav. And Mecca, Mem, Chaf, Hey. Mecca and JC are hidden in the text in the Torah that warned the Jews not to follow religion of a wood and religion of a rock, fake gods, fake religions, with the death penalty warning. Do you think the Gentiles are allowed to follow it? Also not. Christianity, it's idol worshipping for sure. Right? They have all these statues, all these things. They believe that God has a son, all kinds of nonsense. Islam, however, it's not idol worshipping, but it's also a fake religion. They take a book, false instructions God never gave, or at least half of them he never gave. It's a man-made laws, like the fast of Ramadan, 40 days. God never say to fast to the Goyim.
They can eat pork.
Or all kinds of things like this that the Goyim follow, they're not supposed to. For instance, the Goyim don't have to get married. They don't have marriage and divorce. All they have to do is to meet each other and live together, that's it. Now they're making all kinds of laws. I know a Christian couple that the church kicked them out because they moved to live together. The church told them it's not modest. You cannot be members of this church, and they kicked them out of the community. Here is an example how a fake, man-made religion is doing something to the people of that religion against God's wish. God did not hold this Christian couple as criminals because they moved to live in together. That's how he set their future in a creation. That they like each other, they decide to live together, they move in without marriage. As long as they don't cheat on each other, they became officially a couple. And they wanted, one day separate, they shake hands, goodbye, it was nice knowing you. One leaves the house, end of story. Now they can find themselves another love, new love. That's it. Punishing them, it's an innocent person that you give him a punishment. By Islam, they will execute them when they did nothing wrong against God. If Ahmed and Fatma moves in together, what does the Hamas gonna do to them after 5 minutes? Burn them alive. What does the Torah say to do to them? To give them a blessing. Ahmad, you should be blessed. Fatma, you should be blessed. Here you go, you can move in. No sin. But Quran, man-made religion, fake. They told the Goyim to keep laws that only apply to the Jews. Why you make them suffer for nothing? They have 7 main rules and some other rules around it. About 30, 40-something rules, some arguments, and that's it. Very much easier. Not very easy, but compared to the Torah, much, much easier. Why punishing them for something they're not even obligated to do, and to kill them? All these people who killed them actually violated one of the 7 rules. So it's very interesting. The judge in the Arab country who set Ahmed to death and Fatma to death will be charged as a murderer. And the people that killed them also. So they thought they're keeping the rules of God. In reality, the ones who are getting killed are innocent and righteous, and the judge and the police are murderers. This is the tragedy that comes from fake religions. And who's going to pay for all this? Who? Muhammad. The ignorant Muhammad who didn't know how to read and write. 1400 years, multiply how many murders were done in the name of the Islam. Every one of them, Muhammad gets judged every Rosh Hashanah in 45 days from now. Today it's Tu B'Av. Muhammad is counting the days now. Wow, 45 more days. Hashem will add another 1,000,000 murders this year to me. Why? All the people they kill, all the Christians they murder, all the Jews they murder, their own people that they murder, all goes to his account. He wanted some fame. I'm a new prophet. What happened to him? Think about it. Not that many people see it, how deep it gets. Just before we finish, when you're going to be in those countries that I spread you there, remember, only few of you will survive. How did he know? If it's not God, how did he know that only few of us will survive? And from there you will request for your God. Tidreshenu bechol levavcha, with all your heart and all your soul. And here is the sentence that describes what's happening now in Israel and the life of the Jews in this generation. Right here, listen good. Batzar lecha, in times that you are in sorrow, in pain, umetzaucha kol hadvarim haele, and all these tragedies will find you, be'acharit hayamim, in the end of days, before the Mashiach would arrive. Veshavta ad Hashem Elokecha veshamata bekolo. You will be forced to return to your God and listen to Him. You don't want to do it the easy way? You don't want to do it in a positive way? You don't want to do it nice and soft and smooth and easy? You will do it with rockets falling on your head, with fire everywhere, with sirens every 10 minutes, when the little children are shaking, food disorder, they cannot eat, they cannot go to the bathroom, they have rash all over the body from the fear. When economy is suffering, when companies are collapsing after 30 years of success, in 1 month they lose all their wealth. When thousands of employees now are already without a job because their company cannot pay them for the last month. When the Israeli army went to the lowest level it's ever been since Israel became a state, that they cannot win against the terrorist organization, not the Hezbollah and not the Hamas. We lost all the wars against them. We lost to the Hezbollah. We lost to the Palestinians 2 years ago. We lost to them even more this time. And I'm afraid to even say what's going to happen in the next round, because in my opinion, the next round they will always have a chemical weapon already. It will be chemical and it will be a different kind of war. Right now, the weak government, seeing 50 soldiers died, they gave up. They stopped. No. Ceasefire. Egypt, Obama, Kerry, we're begging you, make ceasefire. We can't take the pain. One chemical missile, chas v'shalom, can kill thousands, can choke people, can make horrible tragedies to their skin. I want to see this weak government, what they're going to say when people would tell them next time, you see, it's all your fault. If you would finish the job back then, even if it would be 200 deaths, better to lose 200 than to lose 2 million a year later. They don't understand we are going, chas v'shalom, to another Holocaust. But none of that has to happen. If people would do tshuva, the next thing you hear, the Arabs started to kill each other, and that's it. They don't have time for us. Like it happens in Syria, in Iraq, in other places. All Hashem wanted, look, Hashem already gave us a hint what he can do. Remember that the Fatah and Hamas were killing each other 2-3 years ago? Every day they're killing each other. All of a sudden they made peace. They hate each other. Still, they hate each other very much. One is religious in Islam and one is secular. When Hamas will get the power, they'll kill the Fatah, of course. Just they hate them just as much as they hate us. But in the meantime, they made peace. Why? Because they know they have a bigger enemy, which is us. If Hashem wanted, he instigate between them. They begin to kill each other. In 1 year, they kill everyone. Because when they kill each other, can be 1 million dead. The world will not make a beep. Nobody cares when Arab kills Arabs. Didn't you see in the last month? In the last 2 years in Syria, 250,000 people died. Nobody makes a beep. In Iraq, nobody cares. One Jew killed a murderer, Palestinian, the whole world is getting up and on fire, demonstration, United Nations, votes. Why? Hashem is doing it to us. It's obvious. You don't see what's going on here. But if we would make tshuva, Hashem can turn it all. He can bring them a sickness in their genes. 1 million of them will die, and that's it. They surrender. There's nothing they can do. Or he can make the army really win, like he did in the 6-day war. When Hashem gives you a victory, it's not a victory like they claim that they had. It's a serious victory. 6 days, boom, finish them all. Until today, they suffer from this trauma. Why? Everybody knows Hashem did it. The whole world knows it. Yom Kippur War, we almost got finished, you know? We've never been in a horrible situation like we've been in Yom Kippur War. Within hours, everything turned around. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent us the Messiah. Who was the Messiah? He came from United States. Who was he, do you know? Who saved Israel? Goy. Goy.
Carter?
It was supposed to be Henry Kissinger who betrayed his people and hid. He was interested that Israel would lose the war because the United States was interested to open the Suez Canal because the price of oil was very, very painful. They knew Israel controlling it. If Israel would lose, the Egyptians will take over. They open it. Barrel of oil will be half a price. America will make billions. So they were very interested for Israel to lose. And the Israelis were begging Henry Kissinger to send weapons because there's no weapon left. No weapon. They needed replacement parts for airplanes, for tanks. United States had it all here. The one who saved Israel, remember, was Alexander Haig, a goy. The Jew is hiding in a Plaza Hotel here in Manhattan, not answering his phone calls, waiting for Israel to be destroyed. Kissinger, Shem Reshaim Yirkav. And the goy risked his job, risked his position, and risked his life. Went against the president, against the United States, on his own. He didn't even tell them what he's doing. Only later they found out. He sent us one shipment after the other. The Israeli commanders went to the desert right there, demonstrate. Yeah, I read a whole book about it. I was the shock of my life. The Jew is scared about his chair and his position in the government of the United States. The goy, Alexander Haig. I don't know what was his motive. The book that I read didn't say why he did it. Maybe it was a Christian who believes that they have an obligation to protect Israel, like few million Christians in America. Maybe it was just a good human being who felt bad that this nation after the Holocaust will get butchered again. Or maybe it was just an honest person who thought that it's not fair to let those monsters win against these innocent people. And he did what he did. This was the messenger of God, the goy, Alexander Haig. When the Jew sitting eating steak in Plaza Hotel and not answering phone calls. Unbelievable. That's what's going on. Ma'arsaich u'machrevaich memech yetzu. Ma'arsaich, your destroyers will come from among you. When you're going to have these tragedies in the end of days before the Mashiach would come, you will be forced to make tshuva. What? But Hashem will have mercy on you, even though we don't deserve. Because when someone put a gun to your head and you become a Baal Tshuva, you have to agree it's not the same. when you make millions every month and you give up the nonsense and you become religious. It's not the same. But still, Hashem will accept this tshuva. How do I know? I'm reading. And Hashem will not neglect you because He's a merciful God. He will not destroy you, and He will not forget the covenant that He made with your fathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Go and check in the history. Did you ever see a group of Gentiles